Mingla Bashin. I'm Kimberly Phillips bringing you the top stories for DVB. The striking former employees of a plywood manufacturer have clashed with police at the edge of the Naypyidaw Union territory, the latest development in a months-long saga, after the foreign-owned company sacked workers with no notice and attempts at negotiations broke down. The group of 161 workers staged a sit-in protest for 2 months at the factory in Sagaing Division, before embarking on a march to the capital on the 29th of April. Arriving in the town of Tatkon on Tuesday, the protesters and authorities agreed that 5 representatives would meet with the Naypyidaw Council chairman. But the group reneged on the plan on Wednesday, attempting to continue their march into the city, where several of their members were then arrested by police. The United States eased some sanctions on Tuesday in their continuing bid to support political and economic reforms in Burma. But most financial sanctions have remained firmly in place, which Washington uses to punish those it sees as hampering democratic transition. The move includes lifting sanctions against state-owned banks and 7 state-owned mining and timber companies, and issuing licenses that give investors exemptions to sanctions targeting more than 100 blacklisted business people or companies. In the same announcement, the US Treasury tightened restrictions against notorious businessman Stephen Law, who controls key terminals in Burma's ports. 6 companies owned 50% or more by Law, or the company he controls, Asia World, were also added to the Treasury's blacklist. The US aims to incentivize Burma to continue democratic reforms. That's according to White House spokesman Josh Earnest.
It was the election that was conducted just in the last few months that allowed for the peaceful democratic transfer of power. It was an important development in that country's history and is indicative of the important progress that they're making in pursuing long overdue political reforms. At the same time, the United States wants to continue to further incentivize democratic reforms and continue to pressure targeted individuals and entities, including the military.
Disgruntled elected members of the Rangoon City Development Council have rejected orders from their city mayor, instructing them to alter regulations and essentially vacate their jobs before the municipal's term of governance concludes. City Mayor and NLD member Mong Mong So released the order on Monday, calling on the regional lawmakers to replace Article 64 of the election regulations. The article allows serving members to work up until the day before the newly elected members take their posts. The Council's Executive Committee was, until Monday, made up of 4 ex-military men appointed by the Thein Sein government and 4 elected by the people. On Tuesday, 3 appointed members resigned, but their term had officially expired on the 31st of March. Elected members of the council say the mayor and Rangoon Chief Minister Phyo Min Thein have only been meeting with appointed members. The elected members said the move goes against the wishes of the Rangoon people.
Committee will let us have you. General, see what time here, a chen, Chiba, the check out, young Muro Sibindai committee goes out to Jimpy. Now, General Lady Party, young Mutamulo, she knocked down Yako, goes up in the Pidu, goes up in this way, David, Chiba, Edido, General Yakutati, easy go call it, committee, see you, Matai Nigeria, Pidu goes up to the see which General Yakutati, Malone Nigeria.
You can find these top stories and more on dvb.no. Good night.